going to be in the meeting. That's why I said to just go forward with it at 7:30. I also didn't think the select board would take that. But that's
They took a long time to arguing about the revolving fund cap for the Parks Department.
so. Just I guess I don't want to keep you guys too much longer.
Are you able to see my summary in the chat?
I did see that.
Okay.
I mean, they're more or less. So basically, they don't want the strong chief to go on the Maytown meeting. In 3.10, they push back on.
I have something to speak to that. I spoke with Jason Cooter, and I agreed with him that it's premature. We can come and make a recommendation based on whether we think it's a good idea or not, but at some point the fire chief has to make a presentation to the select board, which is, I believe, what Mike Maroli said.
Yeah, I mean, that's correct. I mean, they did explicitly say that they think that May is too soon.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we can approve his red line as a suggestion, or we can hold off and discuss it more.
You want me to phrase that as a motion?
Yes, please.
Okay, I move that we not make a recommendation on the strong fire chief bylaw change.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carl Hummel, aye.
Joanne Lamothe, aye.
Tom Morelli, aye. Okay, so there's that. I don't know. I did send the gendered language article. I'd like to include. I think we previously voted on that language. In addition, I talked to Chief Kersey. He does not feel like he is ready to move forward with the noise ordinance bylaw until the fall.
I kind of figured that since he hasn't gotten back to us in 3 months.
Absolutely. Also, I got a red line today from Ann that's not finished.
For
Ann Mazar.
For which?
For the land use committee one. The other stuff she said she's still working on as well.
So is that a partial or a full?
So that's she has a partial one thing. She doesn't have anything from any of the others.
Well, so is the one for land use complete? Is my question.
No, it is not. No, there's one section that still needs to be worked on.
Okay, so we're not. That's not going in May.
Yeah, I think the sense I got was they want us to focus on those 3 or 4 if we want to really push forward with the 3.10 and talk about it.
Yeah, Mike Maroli had some interesting historical background. Okay.
Yes, he did.
Which is different from what we had heard from other town people, that it was the board of assessor, it was the chief assessor for the town who they were concerned about.
Yeah, well, I think it was like a whole time in town when there's multiple things going on. But
yeah,
either way, I think we the board wants us to bottom line all of these.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a little document, and these ones should be easy enough to do.
Now, the other thing that I did not get a clear consensus from, which I hope you can follow up with Jason and maybe Alana, is the workflow. Are we supposed to take our language and get it reviewed by town council before you present it at a select board meeting, or are we supposed to do that after? I couldn't tell from the meeting what they wanted.
I was confused about that as well because, I mean, the sense I got was we get the language, we pass it to them, and then as they're reviewing the warrant, that's when we decide on it. But they're also telling me to go to town council.
Mm-hmm. So my recommendation is that what I follow as Concom chair is I don't go talk to town council until Jeremy, the town administrator, says it's okay. So follow up with Jeremy and see what he thinks we should be doing. And if he thinks we should be getting our language reviewed before the select board meeting,
Yeah,
or
I'm
in the
gonna get
3 days between the select board
clarity on
meeting
that.
next Wednesday, and he has to send it out for printing on the week from Friday.
Yeah, I think that's that is something I'd like clarified as well, because it's kind of it's confusing to me because they say, well, if there's enough time, then we can get it reviewed by
Yep.
by town council. So I'd like just some clarity on that, because I was always on the impression that you need permission from the select board to even talk to town council.
Yes. Well, I follow it. I have been told that both Mike Maroli, when he was chair, and Elena, now that she is chair, have both said they don't want to be bothered, just go clear it with Jeremy. I think they trust Jeremy enough at this point.
Yeah, no, and that makes sense to me. So I'll talk to Jeremy about it. Jeremy seemed to be of the mindset that we send it to them and then they clear it by town council.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I gathered, but I'm going to confirm with him what the process should be. Yeah, so there's that. I don't know if you saw the org chart.
I looked at it, but then I saw Jason saying, get it on the town SharePoint site. So I'd prefer to wait until you can migrate it in.
Okay, I can do that.
My other feedback on the meeting is on fees and fines in the bylaws. I talked with Isabella today as part of my biweekly Concom meeting, and she had an excellent recommendation. She said that people were talking about a fee structure being in the bylaws. What Isabella said, in the way that we can, she's planning on doing it for Concom fees and fines, is you have it as part of a regulation. And that way you don't have to go to annual meeting to change it. You have the bylaw saying, refer to a fee structure maintained by the select board, and then the select board can manipulate fees up and down at their meetings.
Yeah. I think looking at what other towns do is worthwhile for this exercise in general, because I mean we're not the only ones who had outdated fees. I'd like to see what other towns did.
So I will take an action item to check on other fees.
Okay, thank you.
I did ask Jeremy for a contact with the Collins Foundation. He basically said, that's a good idea, but never got back to me with a name, so I will push him again.
Okay. That sounds good to me. If you want to follow up with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think since we've made a motion to pass off to hold off on the strong chief language, is there any other items that we need to language we need to approve for the town meeting warrant?
What I'd like to do, in addition to, first thing I want to do is the next select board meeting, have it posted as also a meeting in the GBRC, so I can go, and instead of just listening and lurking on my phone, I can actually participate in the discussion. Because I would have said a whole lot about what the process is for the wetlands bylaw. So
yeah,
if you don't mind, then I'll show up and be able to help
absolutely
comment on that.
You wouldn't, it wouldn't have been a quorum, so you could have done that anyway.
Well, I didn't know whether I want to get it posted, and then we can encourage our other members to attend as well, and then we can actually make decisions in public in combination with the select board. So the other thing the select board wants for that next meeting is bullet points. So I will see about working with you on the language and then coming up with bullet points as to why we're trying to do this. For example, on deleting 310, the reason why we're doing it is because, as we heard tonight, it was done for a specific time when the town of Mendon was done. We want to delete it because it is now impacting our ability to like hire someone to trap beavers, which I am very familiar with. And that kind of issue is now addressed by the State Ethics Commission.
Correct.
And
yeah,
that is why
duplicative.
So we have a reason for deleting it, and I want to just have this as bullet points. Reason for deleting it is preventing us from hiring talent, because we can't hire anyone else besides Tetrol to do beavers. It's just not for amount of money that we're able to budget for, because we're out in the middle of nowhere and it's dirty work and you can't anyway. So for that one, I can come up with a list of why we want to do it. Similarly, why do we want to have
I can bottom line
electronic?
the others.
Yeah,
I'll bottom line the others if you want to take care of 310.
Well, you would put it in the SharePoint folder. We have the folder that says warrant articles, so put a doc in there with bottom lines. The bottom line for electronic voting is that so someone like me in a bad mood doesn't stand up and say, point of order, you're not authorized to use these little dongles by the town bylaw. And then they would get into an argument with the moderator for 5 or 10 minutes where the moderator says it's your discretion. And then I would say, no, it's not. And it's a big mess. So
I wonder what the moderator think about that.
Carl, I dare you at the town meeting to do that.
Well, no, you see, I've been co-opted. The reason I'm not going to get up and be a nuisance at town meeting is because I get to work behind the scenes. But one of the things I'm sure Tom has dealt with his moderator training is how do you deal with an antagonist who's trying to stymie the business of the town? It's the moderator, or in my case, the chair, has a whole lot of things they can do, but they have to be careful to not step over certain lines.
Correct. But yeah,
So the other
three.
The other thing we have to do is approve the minutes of the. So I make a motion that we approve the minutes for February 26, 2025.
Or do we have a second?
I second it, Joanne.
All in favor, say aye.
Carl Hummel, yes.
Joanne Lamothe, yes.
I'm Morelli, yes. And I forgot to say at the beginning of the meeting, I'll say it now, that this meeting is being recorded and conducted remotely in accordance with Mass General Law. So I just want to make sure that is put out.
The org chart review will be deferred due to the lateness of the meeting start, and also to give Tom an ability to put it on the town SharePoint site.
Correct. And as well as the review of any other open action items.
Yeah, the language that you have for gender neutral language, that should go in the warrant articles folder.
Yep, I'll put that in there. All right. Otherwise, if we have nothing else, I'm going to accept a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Take it away, Joanne.
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
All in favor?
Carl Hummel, yes.
Joanne Lamothe, yes.
Tom Morelli, yes. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you next time.
Okay. Probably next Wednesday. Is that when the select board meeting is?
April 9th, I thought.
Yeah, it was April 9th.
Oh,
because well, I've got to go to that one too for cultural council.
Yeah, that's what they said was April 9th.
Oh, okay. Well, when is Jeremy? Okay, so Jeremy.
They said they delayed when they were sending it to print, is what Jeremy said.
Okay, well, yeah, it has to be finalized by the 9th, and okay, that's when the select board meetings. All the more reason for me to show up then. Okay.
I'll be there too. So
Talk to you then.
see you then.
So we'll see about getting it posted. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye, guys.